Hello, my name is Blake Johnson. We're going to be starting with the model presentation. And what this presentation is going to be about is operating system, firewalls, and app armor and different programs like that. And let's just go ahead and just jump right into it. Now, with the model overview objectives, this will be going over everything that we need to know. We examine the Windows and Linux systems to understand their default security settings and possible weaknesses. This will help us in areas that need protection first, the more critical aspect. The goal was to combine the understanding and practice so we can make the server safer. This includes seeing how different parts of the server work together to reduce the risk. The overall goal of the model is to have the knowledge and also the practical experience in preparing us to secure the servers in a secure, structured, and safer way. The research focus aspect. Our research covered four main areas of security. The first area was operating system security for Windows and Linux. We look at the updates, user permissions, and default settings on where there could be any vulnerabilities that possibly may exist. The second area was firewalls. Firewalls help control the network traffic and block unauthorized access, which protects servers from outside attacks. The third area was the app armor, a tool on Linux that limits what programs can do. It prevents programs from accessing files or resources that they shouldn't have at all. The fourth area was the HTTPS. We compare it to the HTTP to understand how the encryption keeps the data safe and why the authentication matters and why using secure ports is important. Studying all four areas gives us a complete view of this on server security and help us plan effective hardening procedure. Now, the hardening recommendations in order to prevent attackers from going in, and I will go into the details as far as that. To start off, um, one recommendations was to turn off the servers that are not needed. This would reduce the number of ways an attacker can access the system. Another recommendation was to give the users only the permission they need. Limiting the privileges prevents the users or programs from making changes they shouldn't. Another recommendation would be disabling the weak or outdated protocols, which could be exploited by attackers using would be which could be exploited by attackers. Using stronger modern protocols ensures communications are safer to be on. Now, the following industries best practices for every service is important. These are the guidelines and recognitions by professionals that help servers stay secure. By combining all these steps, we can reduce the vulnerabilities and make the service much harder to attack. All right, for the next one. The difference between the configure HTTPS and compared to both the IIS and the APAC is that it involves creating an imported. Actually, no, I apologize. The only difference that comes with it is that it is the Internet Information Systems for the IIS. The configure for HTTPS for the Linux is using APAB web servers. This would, though it has the same concept and the same approach, is only slightly different depending on what's being configured. In order to verify, I would have to say that firewalls were configured, or in order to enter, or in order to keep your account safe or the server safe, certain implementations and procedures that need to be followed in order to protect. It has to be something that's orderly. Firewalls were configured to allow only the traffic that was necessary and blocking everything else that prevents attacks from unauthorized users. On Linux, the app armor profiles were enforced. This limits what applications can do, reducing the risk of programs and accessing files or resources they shouldn't, while also the configured HTTPS to encrypt read traffic. We use ISS windows in APEC on Linux. This protects the data sent between servers and users from being inter inter in, well, I would just say interceded, so to say. But as far as the verification and validation, to make sure our security steps worked, we verified the configuration using different tools. The AA status command was used to check the armor profiles were active. Firewall rules were checked to make sure only the allowed traffic could pass through. The servers that should have been blocked were confirmed to be off. When these checked help us confirm that our security measures were applied properly, and they also allowed us to detect any errors or gaps that need to be fixing. Verification is important because it ensures that the steps were took actually improve the server security and reduce risk. As for the reporting and deliverables, the hmm, in summary, this module combined research on hands-on practice. We learned about operating system, firewalls, app armor, HTTPS to understand how they work and why they are important. We apply security steps to harden servers and including turning off unnecessary servers and setting up firewalls, enforcing the app armor, and enabling the HTTPS. We verified our work using the commands and network scans to make sure the servers were configured correctly and securely. Overall, this module gave us both the knowledge and the practice on practical experience, preparing us secure servers in a real world situation and follow the best practice.